welcome back to They Did What? Your source of the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, Would I Be the A-Hole for Exposing My Girl's Best Friend's Paternity Scheme? And I shout out to Harold for sending this story. And guys, this story is about a guy, he's 26, been with his girlfriend Becca for 1 year, and found out that his girlfriend and her friend were concocting a story to say that the baby that her friend was carrying was the boyfriend's, not somebody else she was cheating with. And this guy, obviously seeing the wrong in this whole thing, serves justice. And in the end, justice is served on multiple fronts in terms of that guy not being, raising somebody else's, that boyfriend raising somebody else's baby, but also kicking this girl to the curb. And I'll be going to go over here, guys, just to show you how gals will have no problem, some gals, completely lying and knowing that their best friend is pregnant with somebody else's baby, but we'll then say it's the boyfriend's. Or just in general that happens. Or also, guys, the important lesson that if your girl knows darn well her friend is cheating on her husband or boyfriend, and worse, helps cover it up, I guarantee you she's going to do it to you. You need to break up and end it with her, because that shows you who she is. And if you don't, I'm telling you, it's not going to end well for you. And this guy here, he handles things quite well across the board in the end, and justice is served. So I thought you guys would enjoy this one for Monday. It says, I, a 26-year-old male, have been with my girl Becca, a 25-year-old female, for just over a year now. Becca and her best friend Cindy, who's also 25, are both close friends with Mike, a 30-year-old male, who they met in their first year of college. Something about Mike always rubbed me the wrong way. He's polite enough, but I find him too hands-on-y with the girls. Yeah, that ain't gonna fly if that was a girlfriend. I brought it up to Becca, who says Mike is like a protective big brother to them. Big brother, huh? More like the big stepbrother who they sleep with. Since Mike has been Becca's friend since she was 18, her family love him and invite him to family gatherings, etc. That's why I keep quiet, since he's clearly important to Becca. Smack! If he's touchy-feely with your girlfriend, no, not cool. And if this is your girlfriend, you say, hey, I don't want you hanging out with other dudes. And if she doesn't like it, walk. That's what the guy with options does. At Becca's sister Bianca's engagement party, of course Mike was there. While Becca was talking to Bianca, I went outside for some air. It was cold outside, so there were only 2 people vaping. At the side of the house, I saw Mike and Cindy making out beside the ground solar light. I pulled up my phone and recorded 23 seconds of them making out before going back inside. So much for the protective older brother thing when he's making out with one of these girls. Now, he wasn't making out with this dude's girlfriend, it was her friend. But her friend has a boyfriend. On the car ride back, I told Becca that someone told me they saw Mike and Cindy kissing outside. She panicked and asked if I had told Stan what I was told. I said no, and she was relieved. I asked, "You're not surprised?" And she said, "Of course not. Mike and Cindy have been on and again, off again for years." So her friend's cheating on her boyfriend. The boyfriend's name is Stan. And she has no problem with this? Oh, they've been on again, off again for years, her and Mike, so, it doesn't matter about Stan. When a woman doesn't care about her friends cheating on their boyfriends, that is a giant neon sign saying, get out. Because she'll have no problem cheating on you. My mind reeled since Cindy had only been with Stan for 8 months. Becca said Mike understands Cindy in a way that Stan does not. Yeah, you mean Mike understands all her body parts in a way that Stan does not. And then she covers for Cindy and Mike because Stan sometimes gets suspicious, which is annoying. I lost some respect for Becca right then and there. Smack! No, what you should have done is you should have broke up with Becca. Right there. She says that the boyfriend Stan gets annoying when he gets suspicious. Well, he has a right to get suspicious because she's a cheater. She's devious. Guys, if your girl's okay with her friends cheating, she's going to do it to you. 2 weeks later, I'm at Becca's place and Cindy calls her. She answers the phone and on speaker, and Cindy announces that she's pregnant. Becca squeals, takes the phone off speaker, and puts it to her ear. From my side, I got that Cindy was sure that the baby was Mike's, but she plans to wait for it, pass it off as Stan's baby. Big freaking surprise there. When Becca ended the call, I asked her why Cindy would lie to Stan about fathering a baby. Gee, because Stan's the nice guy, he's going to be the sure thing to be there and provide. Meanwhile, Mike is a D-bag, and either Mike is, has no money and can't provide, or he has money and doesn't want that lifestyle. There you go. Again, why is this dude still with his girlfriend, Becca? Becca said that Mike makes more money than Stan. Side note, Mike owns 3 gyms and has a personal training business. Becca then says Mike wants a kid but doesn't want any responsibilities or to deal with baby mama drama. So since Cindy and Stan will probably get married anyway, this makes more sense for everyone. Listen to this chick logic here. That is terrible. These are terrible people, all of them. I was horrified and told Becca that she's just as bad as Cindy for covering this up. We got into a fight and I left. Well, good. I'm glad you stood up for yourself and called her what she is and left. But this is when you should have broken up with her. Later, Becca calls and tells me that I'm being foolish for letting other people's drama affect our relationship. Oh, now it's this guy's fault. He's the bad guy here. Gaslighting. I thought we shared the same values, but that she is fine with lying and about paternity sets off alarm bells. I don't see a future, but don't know if breaking up over other people's drama is the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do. She's shown you who she is. And I feel bad for Stan, who doesn't deserve any of this. I feel too guilty not to do anything, so would I be the a-hole if I somehow anonymously sent the video of Mike and Cindy making out to Stan? No, you wouldn't be the a-hole. You'd be the pussy, because you need to own it, saying, hey man, this is Becca's boyfriend who knows your girlfriend. I saw these two making out, cheating on you, and I heard them having a conversation about covering up the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. That's what you should do, not this anonymous text crap. Be a fucking man, own it, all that. This guy deserves to know. Now, that's the end of the first part. Now we're going to go on to part 2, then part 3. And remember, there's a saying, don't shoot the messenger. Well, you're going to see how Stan reacts when, he hears this. So as part 2, he says here, yesterday I posted about my girlfriend Becca's best friend Cindy's plan to lie to Stan and Cindy's boyfriend about being the father of her unborn child, and about Becca's role in going along with the plan and covering up for Cindy. After reading the comments, I decided the best thing to do was to confront Becca and tell her that either Cindy tells Stan the truth or I will. Well, no need to even talk to Becca. To break up with her, you shouldn't be talking to her at all. And go right to the guy. But it's a start. Since today was Becca's day off from work, I went to her apartment on my lunch break, and Cindy was there. So I was able to tell Cindy directly. All hell broke loose. Cindy was scream-crying. Becca was just screaming and defending her friend. They both accused me and all men of being hypocrites since we have bro codes, but we punish women for loyalty. I left mid-screams. This is why you shouldn't have went to the women, you moron. What do you expect? Bro code and hypocrites, and we punish women for their loyalty. Yeah, there's a bro code to let other guys know that their girlfriends are cheating on them and planning on saying that, that baby that she's saying is yours is actually somebody else's. You mean decency? That's the bro code? Meanwhile, girl loyalty is about screwing over some guy and lying and cheating and all that. Can't make this shit up. He should have went right to the guy. And of course they're throwing a tantrum. So later at work, I was called to go down to the lobby because of an irate man wanted to see me. It was Mike, Cindy's on-again, off-again lover/friend, who is the real father of the unborn child. This guy showed up at his work, yelling and screaming. As soon as he saw me, Mike started yelling, and I was a gossiping bitch for meddling in other people's lives, and what him, Cindy, and Becca do is none of my business. Well, asshole, it is my business when it involves my girlfriend. And by the way, you're showing up my place of business. Get the fuck out of here. Time to call security. He was escorted out and banned from the building by security. I barely got through work after that. I replayed what he said over and over in my mind. And what me, Cindy, and Becca do? What? Was he sleeping with both Becca and Cindy? I guarantee this guy's banging both these chicks. Guaranteed. Separately or at the same time, I don't know. Could they have been some kind of throuple? I went down a rabbit hole and looked him up on social media, which wasn't hard to do since Becca tagged him in every picture. Gee, there's a sign. Turns out Mike is not 30 years old, but 35 years old. That means he was 28 years old when he met Becca and Cindy at 18 years old. Okay, perv. If they were 21 and he was 31 when they met, then that's a little different, but 18 right out of high school. Could he manipulate his way into their lives, into their pants? Could he still be manipulating them years later? Doesn't matter now. When I got home, I got a call from a strange number that I didn't recognize, and I didn't answer. Then the same number started sending me a bunch of texts. It was Stan saying that just because I have outdated beliefs, it was no excuse to SLUT shame his pregnant girlfriend. Ah, poor old Stan, who has no idea what's going on. This guy didn't get to Stan first, and that crying Cindy got to him and made up this whole story, and now this guy's the bad guy here. He's talking about my outdated belief that there would be nothing special about my wedding night if I have unprotected sex before marriage, so I always use protection. What? I figured Becca told Cindy, since they share everything, and for our 1-year anniversary, Becca said that we should stop using condoms since she was on birth control, but I refused. If a girl suddenly insists that you don't need to use condoms anymore, I'd be very, very worried about that. Because, let's be honest here, gals cheat. Happens all the time. And say they got pregnant, and all of a sudden they want you to stop wearing protection, saying, oh, I'm on birth control, no problem. And next thing you know, oops, I'm pregnant. Well, that way they can pass as somebody's kid for years. So this backs up why I think actually this chick's sleeping with Mike. Anyhow, Stan was texting insults nonstop to me, so I sent him the video of Mike and Cindy making out. There, that'll shut him up. He finally took a 4-minute break before texting again. That was at Bianca's party. Stan was there and probably remembered their outfits. I texted back yes, then nothing, and for 17 minutes before he texted thanks. Ah, now he believes you. That you have footage of this. Stan ought to be kissing your ass for you providing him this information. 30 minutes later, Becca started blowing up my phone. Here we go with the drama. I turned it off, but I can hear alerts from my Apple Watch. I'm still reeling for what Mike said and plan to confront Becca about it. In the meantime, I'm so mad I want to punch something. I'm so hurt I want to scream. I plan to take tomorrow off to deal with this whole situation, but thank you to all for offering advice. If requested, I'll update when I calm down and talk to Becca tomorrow. Why are you talking to this broad? Okay, she's a piece of garbage. It's over. She has no problem lying and covering up her friend's cheating. She has no problem with her friend saying that some other dude's baby is his. And now you want to talk to her more about all suspecting that she's sleeping with this Mike character? Of course she is. And the whole, she suddenly abruptly wanted you to stop wearing condoms. It's a big giant mess. But these guys got to learn the hard way. But anyhow, what I'm glad about is, at least this Stan guy knows, guess what? This is not his child. And I'm glad this guy's foiling this girl's whole plan here. But now we're on to part 3 when this guy finally does what needs to be done. He says here, I didn't know my first post would blow up like this or the second one. But on to the update. Since Becca told me off yesterday, I had turned off my phone and was ignoring all texts and phone calls. But my Apple Watch could see notifications. This morning I turned my phone on to respond to a text from Stan. Well, I hope Stan is a lot more grateful than he was the day before. Says here, I called him and he apologized for his blow up yesterday. Well, he should. He thanked me for sending him the video of Cindy cheating and said he wanted to know everything that I knew. After I told him, he said he'd already dumped Cindy, but now he wants a prenatal paternity test. You're darn right about that. Good for him for dumping her. If this guy didn't reach out to him and tell him the truth, this guy would have gone on and probably raised this kid. I didn't even know you could do that. If the baby is his, then he will support the child, but until the test, he wants nothing to do with Cindy. I also returned a call from work and was told that the man from yesterday, Mike, was pacing in front of the building earlier that morning, but security must have spooked him because he left before the cops were called. That moron comes back, that hothead. I'm loving this. Justice is being served. Cindy is dumped, blah, 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 and obviously the prenatal thing's going to show that that's Mike's baby. Without checking her messages, I drove to Becca's and called her from outside saying we need to talk. Smack! What do you need to talk about? Some closure? Your girlfriend's a piece of garbage. I guarantee she's sleeping with that Mike guy, and even if she wasn't, the fact that she's screaming at you and demeaning you for standing up for that Stan guy tells you everything you need to know. Remember the girls you pay attention to her friends are? Her friend's a big giant cheater. So she agreed. I waited in my car forever before going to her apartment. When Beck opened the door, she practically jumped into my arms. She started saying how sorry she was for yelling at me, and it was just her gut reaction to defend her BFF. But she doesn't want to lose me over Cindy's drama. What a load of crap. She knew her friend's a scheming, devious cheater a-hole, and so's this girl here. I practically peeled her off me and sat on the couch. I think I was just stalling when I first asked her what was the original plan for Cindy's baby. How would it benefit Mike to have Stan raise his kid if he himself wanted a child so badly? She said that Mike didn't want to be the full-time responsibility of a kid, so this way he could get to be the godfather who spoiled the baby, and he would even pay for the kid's college later on. Yeah, sure. What kind of BS is this? This guy's okay with somebody else raising the baby that says, but he'll be the godfather on the side and pay for it? No. Then she said, but that's no longer the plan since Stan knows everything. But she quickly said, not that I blame you for that. She said that now that everything's out in the open, she wants us to get back to normal. Nope. I nearly choked at normal. I got to it and asked her straight up, are you sleeping with Mike? She looked hurt, and I asked that again and she said, no, of course not. I then asked her, have you ever been sleeping with him? And she looked away. It was a gut punch. I just stood up and left. By her looking away and pausing, told him everything he needed to know. And notice the difference. Are you sleeping with Mike? And she gets all offended. Or, next question, were you ever sleeping with him? Then she turns her head. If you didn't ask her that part, there you go, guys. Obviously. She let me leave, but she started blowing up my phone as soon as I drove away. She called me nonstop and left several voicemail messages and texts. In one, she says that her hookups with Cindy and Mike were done for good now, and I'm her future. No, you're my past, honey. So that's one question asked and answered. In another message, she wants us to move forward and thinks we should try couples counseling. Couples counseling? Couples counseling isn't going to fix the fact that she is a liar, that she's deceitful, that she's manipulative, that she's a cheater. She's all these negative traits. No amount of counseling of couples counseling is going to do that. I no longer trust her, but I do still love her. Smack. Well, up until this point, he thought that she was obviously a different person. It's going to take a little while, but he'll then shake that off. But I also know that counseling cannot rebuild trust, so it's definitely over between us. I finally blocked her on everything and might get a restraining order on Mike. The only good thing is, at least now, Stan knows the whole truth. So thank you, Reddit, for your comments telling me the right thing to do. Well, there's a situation where Reddit helped out. So I love the fact that all these things here. Justice was served. This guy learned through his girlfriend's actions and her opening her big mouth that she has no problem with her friend cheating and covering it up. And eventually, guess what? She slept with that guy too. It's over. Goodbye. And I'm willing to bet you she was still sleeping with Mike. And that Stan guy, even though he threw a hissy fit in the beginning, is now not raising somebody else's kid. But it goes to show you guys just how easily gals do not care. And they'll cover up the crap their friends are doing and let the story go that, oh, that's her baby and that's your baby, blah, blah, blah. She had no problem doing this to this poor guy. And he could have been raising somebody's kid for life and have no idea. So, justice is served. Now, a few comments here before I wrap the story up. One guy says, couples counseling is for couples with mutual issues like communication problems, inability to open up, and the like. It doesn't fix complex issues like your hopefully ex's grotesque lack of moral fiber. After all, she was enabling a woman to defraud a man so she could have it all. A stable relationship with a supporting father figure and a hot and financially up-and-coming thrilling man who just wanted to live his forever 21 dreams. This isn't about girl code or bro code. This is about basic respect to a loved one. And since your ex indulges disrespect, then she will engage in disrespect. The fact that you can't guarantee that she was faithful to you and not talking out of her ass right now tells you everything you need to know about her and the validity of her appeals to couples counseling, not the a-hole. Exactly. But I guarantee you that they're going to paint the picture this guy is the a-hole. And one more says, you weren't the a-hole in any of this. Oh my God, man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you love her for sure. I totally get it. I have my exes I love very much. That's the point of dating a cis person, right? But you nailed it. There's no trust and there never will be. You will always question anytime she's out of sight. You will never trust her worthless friends. It's over. The fact that she thought it was okay for them to hook up and do whatever weird stuff they were doing is abysmal. He was most definitely manipulating them, and they were 100% keeping him around for the money. Get the restraining order. That way, when he violates it, the acceptable legal action is immediately taken. Good luck. Well, anyhow, there you go. So, this story is good on so many levels and proves so many points. But also, look, you have a girlfriend, there's no hanging out with other dudes or guy friends and stuff like that. They can have guys they know, they can still stay acquainted, but they're not hanging out, they're not talking. And if your girlfriend doesn't like that, too freaking bad. Because a lot of times these guy friends are either guys that are waiting around in backup, waiting for their chance with the girl, and that's never a good place to have that guy around in your life. Or these are guys they used to hook up with, and when things get boring with you, they're going to go to them. So it's best that, no guys you're hanging out with and talking to and all that, no way. And again, how gals will cover it for each other for doing despicable things. And if your girl has no problem with her friends cheating and covering it up, she will do it to you. So good for this guy for ending this whole thing. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story, definitely email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And if it's good, I'll definitely cover it. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.